All right, so first of all, thank you everybody for jumping on our back to school Q&A. My name is Netra. I'm with Exceeding Autism, and I wanted to do this because a lot of people have asked me, what am I doing for my kids to go back to school? And so I just wanted to bring some educators on the line who are actually working in the schools, working from home, and they have been doing this since the pandemic started. So I just want to hear what they say, hear what they have to say, and let people be informed to make the best decision for them and their children. So I'm going to start with Bryan, and you can just tell us a little bit about your background and how you feel about teaching through the pandemic.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Bryan Carroll. I'm an educator. I've been teaching for about 12 years. I've been certified in special education for about 10 years, and through my journey of education, it's a lot of ups and downs, just learning about what education is. What we had to understand is that it's not just reading, writing, and arithmetic. And I think in a pandemic, we have an opportunity to capitalize on a lot of different situations. So I'm seeing things a little different. So I'm a lot of kids, the way they do special ed testing and stuff like that, a lot of kids aren't testing at the level of grade level. So in Harris County, they said 1 in 4 are considered illiterate. But then when we go into certain communities, it's a way bigger gap. So to be honest with you, I think a lot of people can really benefit from some of these small group testing. So this is an opportunity for the parents to get in a position to understand exactly where your kids are and spend a lot of time with them from an educational standpoint, sitting with them, reading with them, building stamina. I'm gonna read you a stat. It says the average child from a professional family hears 215,000 words per week. A child from a working class family hears 125,000 words per week. And a child from a family receiving welfare benefits hears 62,000 words per week. So we got kids in 1 week getting 4 times as many words from another child because of the words that are spoken within the house. So when you think about that, when you do the math from 215,000 words per week, and you multiply that in 52 weeks in a year, then you multiply that to a child turning 10 years old, that's a couple million more words that they're being able to hear per week than another child. So all of that stuff attributes to the aspect of education. So I just don't want us to be so marginalized and thinking about the kids got to get back to school, got to get this, got to get that. Granted, I'm excited about the educational aspect, and I believe the kids do need to get back to school at the right time. But I just want us to, put our focus in the right thing and stop putting so much pressure on just educators to educate when we have parents who, it's like self-preservation. Like, ain't nobody gonna love your son or your daughter like you. But it needs to go further than saying I want to protect them if somebody's directly trying to hurt them, and go to the aspect of saying like, hey, I want to preserve my young daughter or my young son's opportunity to be able to read and focus on literacy, to understand social skills, to be able to grow and matriculate through education in general, to socially be able to grow. And I think we have to take a stance. And now the thing that everybody's been looking for the most is time. If somebody on their deathbed, they don't want $1 million. They want more time. And right now, during the pandemic, people have been at home. They've had more time. They've had more opportunities. And I want us to be able to capitalize on that time with, and I'm going to say this, a lot of the work ain't even always that easy. I mean, like we were talking earlier, some of them 4th grade math problems ain't no joke. I understand. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, and this is no shade, but parents, just brace yourselves. A lot of y'all kids not even operating on the level to do the work that their teachers are giving them. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I'm an educator. I sit in R meetings all the time with kids that are 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6th grade levels behind. There are 6th graders that are 6th grade levels behind. That means that when they get tested in their Lexile level, they're reading and activating academically on a kindergarten and 1st grade level. So really all they need is some stamina. So if you set your child down and made them read for 10 minutes a day, it could do wonders. And that's just at the minimum. Did your child, I'm working with some kids in this mentoring program I do. We got 8, 9-year-olds that can't even write 1 + 1 is 2. 1 + 2 is 3. 1 + 3 is 4. And all the way to their 12s. They can't do that. So what I'm saying, at the minimum, the basic work that you can do just to build some discipline and build some stamina within your child is something that can work wonders. So when they go back to school, it can be a partnership and a marriage between you and the educators that teach at the school. So now your son or your daughter isn't having so much trouble just sitting down and reading, sitting down doing something, because at the end of the day, a lot of these behavior issues that we're seeing are attributed to their lack of academic skill set. And because of the rigor that's going on in the classroom at work that's not even really that hard, so now they're acting out. So I just feel like we can combat a lot of these issues at the foundational level to create a strong foundation to grow. Did I answer your question, or did you even ask me a question? I think I just kind of went off.
Yeah, that's good. Besides teaching, sometimes people that do have a kid that has special needs and they need an advocate, tell them how to get in touch with you. That's something that you do. You have multiple businesses, nonprofit organizations. Tell people how they can get in touch with you to ask questions, because if I don't know the answer, like, I'm coming to ask you.
Absolutely. I do encourage you to reach out to me. My website is Bryan Carroll and Associates, BryanCarroll, and then A-N-D, and then Associates. If you don't know how to spell associates, you better Google it, okay? So Bryan Carroll and Associates. And you can send me messages through that. My email is listed on there. A lot of people in special needs and within special education, they go into these ARDs, and I'm gonna be honest with you, they don't know what's going on. And it's okay. The problem is people aren't reaching out. So let us know that you don't know what's going on so we can be an advocate. I can coach you through how to go through the ARD, making sure your child is getting the right type of services, and making sure that they're not just telling you what they're doing, that they're actually doing it. Because there's certain things that need to be done for your child. A lot of children are getting a disservice at the school because the population is too high, or people just aren't willing to service the kids in the manner that they need to. So in the pandemic, I understand that there are a lot of times within special needs that, a lot of parents aren't equipped, and you want to get them to a professional that's equipped to work with your child. But I also feel like this is an opportunity for you to grow in your skill set, because whose child is it? That's your child. So I want you can reach out to me. We can talk about it. If it's something that's not my specific skill set, I can reach out to somebody and we can try to work together on helping you get the best resources for your child. Also, YouTube is a great resource. I know you're probably like, man, this dude just told me to use YouTube. I'm telling you, YouTube University will get you a really good doctorate or master's, whatever you want. YouTube is, you can be very descriptive. You can literally type in there what you want, and YouTube has so many different resources. Also, people like me and Netra, we can link you up with people that we may know in the educational field that specialize in this. There's a lot of people with nonprofits and organizations that want to help out, that want to get busy. And during a pandemic, they are really eager to get to work because, teachers love to teach, and they ain't been able to teach nobody. So they itching, you know what I'm saying? So we ready to work with somebody. So be proactive. Closed mouths don't get fed. Let us know what's going on and be proactive. Don't be in denial. And also be willing to educate yourself and elevate. Remember, self-preservation is a powerful thing. There's no way somebody else should be battling and advocate more for your child than you are. That is your responsibility. So you need to be the main advocate for your child.
Bryan, this Shay,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
My child is not a special needs child, but he does have focus issues. So my concern or my anxiety is placed on when they do start school, getting him to focus. Like, he does well in the classroom, but just getting him to be able to focus, just from a computer aspect and, multitask that with two other kids, making sure they're on task as well, and also working from home. So what do you what do you suggest in just ensuring that, like, he's still focused or is able to focus, not being in the classroom?
Well, I want us to remember this. We can't penalize a child for not progressing in an area that's not their strength. See, some people, if we had a class for swimming, people that are swimmers would do better. You know what I'm saying? If we had a class for basketball, people who had good coordination that were taller would probably do better. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is they have different learning styles. Me, I struggled as an educator on online learning at first because I'm an up close and personal. I'm an interpersonal person. I thrive on relationships and communication. You know what I'm saying? So it was an adjustment to me. So I can only imagine if I was a kid, I was the type of kid, I ain't want to read directions. I ain't want to sit in front of a computer all day. So I get it. So what we have to do, there are 7 styles of learning, right? There's kids that learn from music, kinesthetic, interpersonal, verbal, linguistic, naturalistic, visual, spatial, intersocial. There's so many different learning styles, right? What I recommend is that you learn your child's learning style. I know kids in the projects that can't They don't do nothing in school, but they know the words to everything. So that means their brain can function, but what do? Like athletes, let's say athletes not smart, but they making real quick decisions on the field, making adjustments, calling audibles, and remembering playbooks that it is thick. They can think, but that what you do most, is that what you do best, right? So figure out the way that your son learns the best and focus on that, because it will ease all my anxiety if I know I ain't got to read a 400-page book, but I can look at an audio and I can consume that knowledge. I can talk to you about brain development right now because I watch YouTube videos and look at videos and audios about it. Not because I read a book about it, but that's how I was able to consume that. So he needs to figure out his learning style and figure out what makes him more comfortable within the classroom realm. And also, I encourage people to do this because I wish somebody did this to me. You got to build stamina for discipline. Learning how to focus is a skill set. It's not something everybody's born with, right? So I play Simon Says with kids. It'd be crazy. High school kids even like it. I play Simon Says. I do things to build discipline. I give them tasks that I know is going to challenge them, that's going to force them to focus, because much more is caught than taught. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing that on my own. I'm modeling it. Then I'm getting them to model it for me. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm building stamina. Whereas me, when I was young, it was hard for me to just stand still. I had to be moving around. Well, now I'm counterproductive for school because at some point I'm going to have to stand still. I ain't saying I got to do that all day, but put them in situations like that to build that up. Constantly challenge them and also talk to them. See how they feel. When I know kids are really impulsive, I know I was really active and I was impulsive. I would just do random things. If a child tell you they don't know why they did it, believe them. Sometimes they don't know why they did it. They just reacting. So put them in positions where they have to start responding instead of reacting. And you got to make sure that you're not in a reactive state as a parent or a teacher. Make sure you're always being proactive. So you're out ahead of what you know he's going to struggle with. You know he's struggling with sitting still. So talk to the teacher. Behavior and engagement is always hand in hand. A lot of teachers are lazy. They just want to sit in their seat, give some busy work. I'd have had my days. I ain't gonna lie. You just want to give them some, hey, y'all be quiet. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be up and you got to be engaged. You know what I'm saying? So teach them how to operate in that engagement aspect, but also how to learn his learning style so he can advocate for himself and be more creative in the learning process. Because I used to have anxiety with tests because I know I ain't study or pay attention. You know what I'm saying? I had anxiety because I knew I had to go to school and sit down all day. That was boring, man. I want to go play. Where the toys at? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But start building that stamina for discipline with him, whether he likes to do it through karate, he likes to do it through art, or he likes to do it through anything. Figure out what he likes in basketball. You know, in basketball, you got to be very meticulous. You got to be very disciplined. You can't just go out there and do whatever. So work on building discipline and him getting in a position where he's filtering out those emotions to think before he acts. So he's not in such a, I'm gonna throw y'all for a loop with this word. So he's not in an entanglement when he goes back to school. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So he's not in an entanglement. I've been wanting to use that word for a while. So y'all bear with me, you know.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll.
Did I use it right?
Listen, yes. Thank you so much, Bryan, for coming on. I know you got to jump off, so I definitely appreciate your time. And
I got about 5 more
over
minutes.
here, and my camera is over here, so I'm not.
Okay. Well, I got about 5 more minutes. I told my mom.
I don't have an entanglement with my eyes going on. It's just that.
Hey, look, she cockeyed now. Look.
Watch it. You don't know who I see this.
I'm sorry. Oh, damn.
So, Lord help us. We real people.
Hold on. I want to say another thing. It's this quote. It says, if you judge a fish by how they climb a tree, then they'll always think they're stupid. And I say that to I want the parents to understand this, that, and I seen this thing on Facebook. They were saying Black people don't be really helping their kids, their homework. They just say the same question loud and think that they asked it something different. You know what I'm saying? And I know they did that to me because I'm sitting there like, I still don't know what 5 + 5 is. Like you said it louder, but you ain't break it down to me. But let's be real. You got to know your child's learning style. And when they not getting it and they got that confused look and they saying, yeah, because they don't want to get popped or whatever, but they don't understand, like filter through that and really start teaching them. Because guess what? They run into that with you, then they run into that at school, and then they don't want to raise their hand because what's up? They're going to clown them, they're going to call them stupid, something like that. So now they sitting in the shell, never getting help when they actually need help. So figure out what their learning style is. You got to do it through music to get them more comfortable. If your child in the 8th grade but he can't hardly read, give him a first grade book. Don't tell him it's a first grade book. Let him experience some wins and see like, oh man, see, I told you can read. And my daughter, she only 3 years old. She wanted to play pool, but she can't really play with the pool, but she just roll the balls in the hole. Whenever she get it, I give her so much validation, give her a high five, even when she don't get it in the hole. I still give her validation, but I'm working on building that. So with your child, if he's not doing well with the multiplication and algebra, but he barely know how to do 2-digit multiplication, give him some single-digit multiplication. Then work out to double-digit multiplication. Then you got to scaffold it. You got to build up. We be trying to get the kids to meet us where we teaching that, but we need to meet them where they are, and figure out their learning styles,
Do you know any tutors or anybody? I know tutors, but they have a ridiculous price. Do you know anybody, or do the school systems offer any tutoring outside of the teachers?
A lot of things that people don't utilize as teachers are free tutoring service. Kids can stay after school. Come here. Kids can stay after school and get tutoring from their teachers for free. It's a free resource. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't utilize it. Don't nobody be letting their kids stay after school to get no tutoring. They take them to practice, but they don't do that. It's a free resource, and we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
so we just don't call you.
Nah, because I can't even really read that good. No, I'm just playing. But I do know. I know some people with tutoring service. I know at least 3 people with tutoring services.
I know Nicole does as well.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
Nicole does as well.
If you need assistance, I got you.
So thank you, Bryan. Hey, twin. Hey, Bryan. Hey, girl. Hey.
So you just woke up in your nap?
It's too late to take a nap. But anyway, thank you, Bryan.
Dads do things differently. You know what I'm saying?
So, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'll holler at you after this.
All right, bye.
So everybody heard what Bryan had to say. I'm going to let Nicole talk. Nicole is a 4th grade teacher in HISD, and I would say maybe like 10, 15 minutes, because I don't want Zoom. Look, they telling me I have 10 minutes.
Okay.
On Zoom, I don't want them to cut me off.
I'm gonna be real quick. I thought that everything that Mr. Carroll said was spot on. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Everything he said was spot on. I was taking notes while he was talking. So he spoke a lot about being an advocate for your child. If you don't know what that necessarily means, or how to do so, reach out to your children's teachers. We are here to serve you guys, literally. And know your rights. If your child receives 504 or special education services, learn your rights. Read, there's, I think it's idea.gov. I think that might be it. It lists all the rights of parents and students that receive 504 and special education services. Ms. Colbert, for your question, how do you help your child to focus? I would recommend, Mr. Carroll talked about long-term, like building that discipline definitely is gonna take some time. Short-term, since school is about to start, like if it hasn't already, it's starting in a couple of weeks, right? Take some time every day to have him practice what his school day will look like, right? So if he's gonna have to spend 8 hours a day on the computer, that's probably not what it is, but give him, let's say 15 minutes. I can message you a list of some websites that are good for elementary learners. They can play games and just, give them a refresher, because they need a refresher coming back anyway. They've been out of school for 5 months at this point. Give him small increments of time, and then increase as the closer we get to school starting, increase it so that he's used to being still for a little bit, staring at a computer. That's new to everybody. increase that time so that on the first day of school, he's not, off playing video games while the teacher is teaching, right? It happens. Other than that, that's really it. Like Mr. Carroll said, closed mouths do not get fed. And we have, while we would love to provide extensive support to every parent, sometimes we have 100 kids. We don't know the specific needs of every parent until the parent lets us in and gives us the information, right? So be open within reason with your students' teachers, and communicate, because most of us are out here now trying to figure out how we can best serve you and your students.
Well, the good part is that you're a fourth grade teacher. He in the fourth grade. He going to fourth grade.
Oh, fourth grade is the best grade.
So like I said, he did very well in the classroom, but he just one of those kids that, not in the classroom, like his attention is not focused. And so, when they went to initially the virtual learning, it wasn't like all day. It was only like 2 times a week for maybe like an hour or two. So it wasn't that hard, but even sometimes on the 2-hour days, it was hard to get him just to be still or whatever. But now you're kind of going to like, okay, they done figured it out and developed a plan to like be, in front of the computer for an extended amount of time. So that's kind of where I'm at. Cause like I said, when he's in the classroom, he does fine, because he's just one of those kids that does better with the one-on-one, the interaction. But just from, that's my fear, that he'll be one of those that get left behind with having to be in front of the computer for so long. Mm-hmm. So I was just trying to figure out, how do I get him to focus, and, just even to help him when I don't really know like his style of learning, just because, he just does better in the classroom than he would in front of the computer.
So definitely reach out if you have a relationship with this teacher from last year. If it's going to be the same teacher, sometimes that happens. Ask them, what is my child's learning style? That's going to be the quickest way to find out. And voice your concerns to the teacher. Meet the teacher nights. They're coming up soon. Let her know, I'm concerned about my child being able to focus at home. He excels in the classroom. I don't want him to, I don't want there to become gaps, right? I will say what virtual learning looked like in spring is probably not going to look anything like that in the fall. We've been working to make it more engaging. Lots of interactive things, right? It's not just watching a video. So he, I'm sure that your teacher will provide supports, and then if you need some extra supports, Miss Netra can link you with me, and I'll do what I can.
And y'all might be on the same side. You on the south side, Nicole?
I am on the south side. What school? Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that I'm on here. I'll send you a message.
Yeah, I think y'all close. But so I got, this is Neiman's like schedule. This is Humble ISD. They start on Tuesday. And as you can see, like this schedule starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and it goes until 2:40 in the evening. And so literally they have something, they have like, it's structured every day, Monday through Friday, for distance learning. This is like the 3rd grade schedule. Corey has one too. And basically they have them like an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes on there. And then they have a break, or like where they can do stuff independently, but they also have to come in. They are having class via Zoom, but they have to Google Classroom, but they have to log in through My Humble ISD, which we did a lot of this last year. Like we did a lot on mine last year. before, like they didn't really get a free ride. Like they were serious about it in Humble ISD. So they already have that familiarity. But Bryan, when Bryan said that, like that kind of sparked something for me with Blake. You know, we may need to figure out how to do basketball terminology and make it like for him like that with Matt, because that's something that he knows. He doesn't have to think about basketball. He understands, you know, passing, being in your part, not being in the paint. He understands all that terminology. And so that may be something that I can get with Nicole and just better help him. And also a visual schedule may help Blake. I have to do visual schedules with Neiman and Corey for regular everyday brushing their teeth and washing their face. Like y'all know y'all supposed to do this, but what? I have to write these little love notes and put them in the bathroom, so I won't be saying, "Did you brush your teeth? Did you wash your face?" Like, yeah, I'm like y'all almost 20 years old. I'm not gonna be saying that, okay? So maybe a visual schedule will help Blake, and I have like the outline and I have that stuff that I can get to you to help him, so that way he knows at 10:15, okay, I have to be doing this, I have to be doing this, because it's gonna be hard for that first 6 weeks. I already know that. Shanette, you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticism? No. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Nicole. I'll link you and Shay together. And of course, you guys know any questions, anything I can do to help. Thanks for coming on. I hate that people didn't get on because they're missing information, but I've learned the hard way that they'll be out there buying tax-free clothes for a child that's going to be sitting in front of a computer for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
When you should be buying some books and some notebooks and pencils and papers and some ink for a printer to print out some worksheets, but you out there buying some Jordans because it's tax-free weekend. Okay. So thank y'all. I love y'all, and I don't want Zoom to disconnect me. So thank you, Nicole, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sugar, you saying bye?
Bye bye.
Bye.
That's not Jaden. That's his baby brother.
Oh.
He looks just like him, huh?
Yeah.